Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast, and Merry Christmas. Finally, I've been wanting to do this for such a long time. I will be reviewing every single top streaming platform that we have. Starting off, I will be doing a review for Disney Plus. So I'm going to get into it a little bit, talking about whether it's as good as it once was. Let's get into it. So Disney Plus, I remember back in the day, Disney Plus, really the only show that people wanted to see on Disney Plus was The Mandalorian. Originally, it was just The Mandalorian, and then it was some random stuff. And then later on, they made the changes to the MCU, and they decided, well, hey, we're going to now put all our stuff onto Disney Plus. So it started off with WandaVision, then Loki, or Falcon and Winter Soldier, then Loki, and whatnot. At the time, it was really good. Now, I think the problem with Disney Plus is most people use Disney Plus either to put something in the background for their kids or just straight up watch something from Star Wars and straight up watch something from Marvel. And the problem is, people want a lot of content. This is a difficult situation because we demand a lot from Marvel, but what we're getting is mediocre products. And they don't have a lot of time to fully polish these shows. And for the most part, it is shows. It's not even movies they put on here. So that's the unfortunate thing. And that's one of my criticisms for the consumer and also the people who's making a product. It's that we can't really work together. And they try to rush things out. It doesn't end up good. And then plus, we all know that there's like some political stuff going on over at Disney Plus. Bob Iger has addressed it. So we got that in the mix as well. And so all in all, the actual streaming platform itself is kind of mid with that said. Also, I'm not a big fan of the fast forwarding, like the UI for that. I'm not a big fan of that whatsoever. I actually like Netflix's. I wish more people did the same thing that Netflix does. I think that's one of my critiques as well for Prime, which I'll get to a little bit later on. So, and then again, you guys could expect these videos to just drop every day, all the way into the end of the year. I thought this would be a good review series to tie off the year since we did so many reviews in the past involving these streaming services. So might as well actually review the streaming services themselves. So Disney, my criticism on Disney is that I think there was a golden era where they made their own products and they did it all in-house. They lost that magic. Disney's all about magic. And instead, what happened, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but instead what happens is they rather buy people who have that magic and they just label it as a Disney Plus product. Look at even 20th Century Fox now, it's 20th Century Studios. And of course, they had a lot of hitters. And now it's just like, okay, it's whatever. So that's the unfortunate thing about Disney is that they buy all these studios. And unfortunately, there's so much crunch in development with these products that you end up with mediocre results. But talking about the streaming platform itself, let's go more into it. The dashboard is fine. I think sometimes they have the same problem that Hulu has, where I'm not getting a lot of the stuff I want to watch on here. And maybe that's just because I don't really consume these shows, but there's like a lot of shows that I really don't care for. But if you're into Pixar and whatnot, I mean, this is the hub to go to. If you're into Marvel, even, this is the hub to go to as well. I think they have a clever design when it comes to the Marvel tab. And they even included that in She-Hulk, which is really meta. And I thought for the most part, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, they have, for example, the MCU Infinity Saga, MCU Multiverse Saga. I think that's really clever. And also, it's almost like a small Wikipedia. Like if you're tracking down the shows, you could actually look here and you can see the timeline itself. And I think that's really cool. I hope that more streaming platforms, that they have a series that it's more of a franchise. I hope they try to emulate that because this is a really cool idea to have. So if we see Net Geo's all right. I don't know who watches Net Geo shows on here, but that's pretty cool. So they have some Disney classics as well. It's everything you would find from Disney. They also have a Hulu beta page, which I will be doing a Hulu review right after this. And, you know, it's really cool because you see the creator, you see like other stuff. So at least honestly, this is my genuine reactions from seeing that. That's really awesome. And even seeing The Handmaid's Tale or The Bear, there's a lot of rated R stuff, because that was one of the criticisms from back then. It was that Hulu was all about child shows and whatnot. And I know that they want to take a more mature approach with certain IPs, certain projects like Marvel. So that's why we have, I believe it's called Marvel Spotlight with Echo. That's going to be the first show, Marvel Spotlight. I think they're ditching the Marvel special presentation, which is kind of sad, because I think they should still keep it. I mean, those are more of a one-off, you know what I mean? So they should keep those. But Marvel Spotlight's pretty cool, and those will be more mature in tone. I guess they're going to push the hard R rating or hard TV MA rating. So I appreciate that. I do appreciate that they're trying to evolve, but then you come back to the political stuff, and then it leaves a sour taste in your mouth, because, you know, we don't have to have this stuff shoved down our throats. We don't really have to be talked down to. Rather, I think you should make genuine products with genuine characters who have their own real issues, or at least as a commentary on real issues, rather than everybody just being the same thing or extraordinary for some reason, and it just becomes really contrived. So that's a criticism on their products itself. Again, Disney buys all these platforms or these studios, and then they just include it into their own thing. There was a price increase too. My goodness. I mean, don't ask me for how much it is, because they keep changing it on the fly. I believe right now, isn't it like $12 or something? Back in the day, it was $5. And that made sense because they're a multi-billion-dollar company. Now it's, like $9 or something like that. Don't even get me started on Netflix. Geez Louise, that's like $24 or $30 right now. But I'll get into that a little bit later. So $9, but I think it's a good package deal. At least you do get a lot of content if you're interested. I myself am not interested. I subscribe to Disney Plus just for Star Wars or Marvel content rather than anything else. Hulu, I already have Hulu. I would imagine in the future, when this beta is now fully fleshed out and it's not a beta anymore, then I'd probably cancel my subscription with Hulu. As the same I did for Discovery Plus. My parents watched 90 Day Fiance, so now that's included with Max, and I'll get into that when I do those reviews. So my rating for Disney Plus as it stands right now is going to be a 6 out of 10. That's right, a 6 out of 10. And with that said, that is my review for Disney Plus. If you guys agree with me, if you guys have any thoughts about Disney Plus, let me know in the comments. Or if you guys have any thoughts on the current climate of content itself, let me know in the comments below. I'm interested to see your thoughts as well. I do hear a lot of commentary from different videos talking about similar feelings that I have. So I wonder if you guys have the same feelings and thoughts. So let me know, please. I would appreciate it. And if you guys can, just like this video, help your brother out. Again, I have nine of these videos coming out, going through every single streaming platform that I currently care about. So be excited for that. I know I am. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys.